Welcome back to Richo Hobby and Art. I'll look at my beer stein collection. It's not a huge collection, but it's kind of specific. At least four of them are specific to the area I grew up in. A couple others are just some that I got from my life travels, I suppose. First one is from the U.S. Naval Academy. If you remember from the Fire Patch collection video, I grew up in Annapolis. And so a friend of mine had one of these, beer stein from the U.S. Naval Academy, and I must say that I was envious. I really liked it. You know, I was a kid. This was before beer drinking days, and I'm not a big beer drinker. I just love the size of these things. But he had one of these, and so he had a birthday. It was a bar mitzvah. He had a bar mitzvah, and each of us got one of these things, and I was totally happy, just completely exuberantly happy to get one of these things. They're just so well made, and it's a little dusty down there. This has been in a storage box for years. I don't drink out of this thing. I mainly used it for putting pencils and markers and things like that in when I was a teenager in high school, and then later on. It's just pretty much used for that. So anyway, this was my first from the Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland. I guess the next one after that would be probably this one. There's another one that could be next, but let's use this one next. This is from Frostburg Ambulance Company. This would have been in 1995 when they celebrated their 20th anniversary. I got this because I was a member of Frostburg Ambulance, and they had it at the banquet for a celebration for the anniversary. This company was up in Western Maryland. It no longer exists. The Allegheny County EMS system revamped itself, I don't know, at some point, maybe in the last 20 years, and this was done away with. When I was there, it was completely volunteer, all the way from first responders up through paramedic. I was an EMT, and they also had medical doctor. One guy was a medical doctor. He had been a paramedic and then became a medical doctor. And I don't know how long he lasted with that. He may have just gone on to have a practice. Anyway, it was a great opportunity for a college student to be part of a rescue squad while he was in college. Of course, I was a firefighter in Annapolis for that time, and I had a bunch of steins from that, not from my station, but we would have, Anne Arundel County volunteers would have a annual picnic meeting thing. It took 3 or 4 days, and so there was a beer stein for each of those. I had 3 of those steins, and I got rid of them, as time went on. So, this next one is from the U.S. Secret Service. And this is the only frosted stein that I own. I think I may have had another frosted stein at one point, but I don't have it anymore. So this one I got from a friend of mine who was working for the Treasury Department and was able to get this thing. I don't remember if, let's say he gave it to me. Let's just say he gave it to me. And so anyway, this is it's a nice frosted one. It's got some stuff in the bottom. I'm going to say I use this for putting, like Coke or beverages in some sort, because it was not the kind of thing I would stick in a freezer. It's not that kind of frosted mug, but it was nice. It was a nice one for drinking out of. So I think of all of them, except maybe the Frostburg Ambulance, I think this was actually been used for drinking. The Central Intelligence Agency is kind of an odd one to get one from, the CIA. I think I bought this one. I think a friend of mine was going over there for something. He was a contract employee or something. I don't remember. But, this is what happens when you grow up in the Annapolis area. People work in D.C. and they have, they work at different agencies. He didn't work there directly. He was just going over there for a project. And he said they had a gift shop. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. It's hard to even call that place. But anyway, they had a gift shop, and he said they had stuff, so I told him I would like to have a beer stein. And so that's what he did. He also got me this pen. This is also from the same gift shop, Central Intelligence Agency. And it has even a little cap on the top. And so still works. So I still keep it around because it works. But it just, who'd have known that they would have had anyway, I'll keep my comments to myself. Anyway, Central Intelligence Agency, again, this was more of a collection item rather than anything else, and I don't think I've ever drank anything out of it. U.S. Department of Justice, another friend. I think I paid for this one. I think he was like, "You want a beer stein? Yeah, I'll get you the money." He went and got it for me. Because at this point, I already had the U.S. Naval Academy, I already had the Central Intelligence Agency, and the U.S. Secret Service. Why not have the Department of Justice? So that is what this is. This is probably in the best condition because it is the newest. I would say I got this in the early 2000s because that's about the time he got that job there. So lots of friends in the Annapolis area getting me all these nice beer steins. So the only one that I've clang, that happens, doesn't it? Here's one from Colonial Williamsburg. This is from the King's Arms Tavern, one of the 4 or 5 historic taverns there, established in 1772. I bought this. I bought this when I was working at Colonial Williamsburg. So I'm the one working this time. And so I bought this while I was working at Colonial Williamsburg. It's the only stein that I bought from there, but I wanted to have, before I left, I wanted to have a stein from there, and King's Arms was the best. I didn't want one from Tunings or Shields, or I can't remember the name of the other two, but that's how important they were. King's Arms, I thought, it's something. And I didn't want something that just said Colonial Williamsburg. I wanted it to actually come from one of the taverns. So, and it still has parts of the price tag still there. So, anyway, that's my beer stein collection. As I said, I had more. I had some from fire stations. I had one from Sheetz Gasoline, which is a large gas station, usually found in Western Maryland, West Virginia, Virginia. There might be some in East Tennessee. I've not seen them around here because we have Weigel's. It's kind of like a Wawa or a Buc-ee's, although nothing can stand up to a Buc-ee's. They're just so huge. And so, that's my beer stein collection. I don't really collect them anymore because these are sitting in storage and not being used. But if I find a good one, I might get it and add to the collection.